The situation at hand. Christian Wilkins has been a staple at OTAs, showing up early and working hard. But here's the catch. He's not at 100%, and whispers of his injury still linger like a dark cloud over the team's defense. Some rumors had even suggested that Wilkins might have been sporting a walking boot. However, sources like Toshin Reed have quashed those reports, confirming that the defensive star isn't in a boot. Yet, that doesn't mean everything's fine. Raiders head coach Pete Carroll, never one to sugarcoat, came out with a candid assessment. This recovery has been tough. Wilkins is putting in the work every day, but his foot just isn't ready. It's a slow process, and we don't have a clear timeline on when he'll be back. This is a huge blow for the defense considering how vital Wilkins is. Without him, the Raiders' defensive front could be in serious trouble. How big of a deal is Wilkins' injury? Let's talk about the severity of the situation. On a scale of 1 to 10, how worried should we be? For me, it's a solid 6. Not an alarm bell, but definitely concerning. Just a few days ago, I was sitting at a 3, thinking everything would work out. But now, the concern has escalated. Wilkins isn't just another cog in the machine. In my eyes, he's the second most important player on the defense, right behind Max Crosby. If the Raiders are going to succeed this season, the defensive line needs to apply relentless pressure on the quarterback. Wilkins is crucial for that. He's the guy who commands double teams, who makes life miserable for offensive linemen, and who opens up opportunities for everyone else. The secondary has shown promise during the offseason, which is great, but none of it matters if opposing quarterbacks have all day to throw. The good news is that it's still early. May isn't even over yet. There's time for recovery. Wilkins has months to heal before the season opener, and the coaching staff is likely being cautious, especially with someone as pivotal as him. Even so, the Raiders need to prepare for the worst-case scenario, and that means someone else has to step up. Who will? Step up. If Wilkins can't go, there's no time to waste. The Raiders need to find someone who can fill his shoes and contribute immediately. I've ranked 6 players on the current roster who must step up if Wilkins remains sidelined. Here's the countdown. 6. J.J. Peggs. The rookie out of the 6th round, standing at 6 feet 2 inches and 309 pounds, brings the size needed to make an impact in the middle of the defense. But can he step up in the role Wilkins left behind? The word here is versatility. Can Peggs shift positions if needed, and can he handle the physical demands of an NFL defensive line? We'll find out soon enough. 5th. Tonka Hemingway. Hemingway's draft position says it all. Round 4, so expectations are high. While not as purely dominant in the middle as Wilkins, Hemingway's hybrid role could provide some flexibility. He's a quick, agile player, but whether he can bring the same kind of power and consistency to the defense remains to be seen. 4. John P. Lulu is no longer a rookie, and the team's expectations for him are clear. After flashing potential last season, Lou has the size and strength to make an impact. He's just under 300 pounds, but plays like he's bigger. The coaching staff will need to push him hard this offseason to take on more responsibility in the middle of the defensive line. 3. Leki Fotu now? Here's where things get tricky. Leki Fotu is the biggest guy on the Raiders' defensive line at the moment, and his job is straightforward. He needs to eat up double teams. He won't make highlight reels, but if Fotu can draw blockers away from the stars like Crosby, he'll be doing the dirty work that makes everything else possible. But it's a heavy load to carry, and he's got big shoes to fill. 2. Tyree Wilson. Here's the player who could really surprise everyone. Tyree Wilson, though listed as an edge rusher, has the size and raw power to play inside as well. He's got the versatility to shift between positions, and with Wilkins potentially out, that could be the key to solving the defense's problems. It's time for Wilson to show why he was worth the first-round pick and prove that he can be a game changer both on the edge and inside the trenches. 1. Adam Butler. If Wilkins misses time, Butler becomes the most critical defensive tackle on the roster. Signed to a solid deal in the offseason, Butler was never meant to be a DT1. He thrived as a DT2, flying under the radar while others took the spotlight. But now, with the pressure squarely on his shoulders, Butler must step up and prove that he can carry the weight of the defensive line. His intelligence, experience, and leadership will be vital in filling the void left by Wilkins. The backup plan. Free agents to watch. If the situation gets even more dire, the Raiders might turn to free agency. One name that's getting some serious attention? Jadeveon Clowney. Though Clowney isn't a perfect fit to replace Wilkins directly, his versatility and disruptive nature could make him an asset. Clowney can wreak havoc on the edge, and his ability to collapse the pocket from multiple angles could make him a valuable weapon for the Raiders. Plus, his connection with Pete Carroll from their time in Seattle could smooth over the transition. Another name worth considering is Shelby Harris, a seasoned defensive tackle who could bring depth to the line. Harris is a stout player who could step in and eat up blockers while the young guys around him grow. Conclusion: if Christian Wilkins isn't ready for the start of the season, it's time for the Raiders to get creative and lean on their depth. Players like Adam Butler, Tyree Wilson, and Leki Fotu must rise to the occasion, and the team might need to explore free agency for that extra boost.